Hello everybody, welcome back to my shitty corner of the internet. I've been brainstorming for a few minutes now trying to figure out how the fuck to start this video, but I can't really think of one. So I'm just going to tell you guys straight up what I'm going to talk about today. So this is something that's been going around with Kat or Katerino, however the fuck you say her name, and Carson and Fitz and her manager, I guess. So essentially what this whole thing is Katerino, which was basically what the internet would call Carson's girlfriend, I guess, but they weren't technically dating. In her words, they weren't technically dating, which she says later in the video that I'm going to show you guys. But essentially, the bare bones of the situation is that Katerino had a boyfriend, and she was dating this dude, but people are saying that it's her manager too, the person that manages her Twitch or whatever. I don't know, I don't watch that much of her, so I don't know if that's completely true. I just know that she said she was dating a guy, and then she had her internet persona where she was dating Carson. And I don't know how Fitz really fits into this. No fucking pun intended, that just came up out of fucking nowhere. But I honestly have no idea how he can fit into this equation, because all she really says is that that's when Fitz comes along. Like, he was just there, which, I mean, I kind of give Fitz props for that. Like, I feel like he's just a dude and he's just doing what he's doing. I don't really see him in any kind of bad place for doing what he did, because once again, she did say that she wasn't dating Carson, right? So I guess that did put a halt in Fitz and Carson's relationship, but that's really all that I'm getting for this. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the video right now.
Hey guys, I'm sorry this took so long to come out. I was processing things and thinking things through, and this is my first time going through something like this, and I wanted to go about it as best as I possibly could. And I want to be honest. My relationship with Carson was very complicated. I had a boyfriend at the time, and neither Carson nor my boyfriend at the time knew about each other.
So here's the thing, I don't understand how the boyfriend at the time didn't know about Carson. Like, you guys were pretty big. Carson has 2 million subs, right? I think it might even be something bigger million. Like, he is a known figure on the internet, and if he even goes on YouTube, he's bound to have seen something with Carson. So that's my confusion with it. I don't know how he's never seen that in his life. Like, I guess I can understand it a little bit, but that really doesn't make sense to me.
And while I was clear with Carson that Carson and I were not in a relationship, I still let him on, and ended up hurting Carson and my boyfriend at the time very badly.
Why do people do this? I'm honestly confused. Like, why do you feel the need to lead people on? That's my question. Like, out of everything that you could do on the internet, with all of the followers that you have, you decide to go into people's personal lives and lead them on for something that you clearly weren't going to actually stick to. Like, you had a boyfriend, yet you still did this whole entire thing with Carson. It's not okay, and I don't know why you would think that that was okay at any kind of circumstance. So you can say you're sorry for what you did, but I mean, you still did it. So I'm not really seeing any kind of connections being made here. I guess if you do come back and you've rejuvenated yourself, good for you. Just a little bump in the road, but I mean, you're going to have to do some kind of great thing in order for people to come back and start enjoying what you did, and to make amends with Carson and your boyfriend and Fitz, however the fuck he comes in.
Process. I am now seeing a therapist, and although I didn't realize it at the time, I was dealing a lot with depersonalization, and I felt like I was two different people living two different lives. I felt like a passenger in my own body.
Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know what depersonalization is, it's a mental disorder. According to WebMD, this is where I'm getting all this from, so if you want to go and check my source, it's not very credible, but I mean, hey, at least it's giving some kind of definition, because I didn't want to do a fuck ton of research just to figure out what this entire thing means. But depersonalization disorder is marked by periods of feeling disconnected or detached from one's body and thoughts. So essentially, whenever you feel like you're not in control of your life, and you're just on a rail track and you're going straight doing whatever the fuck is happening in life. You're not changing anything. You're just doing what happens. That's basically the best way that I can say it, because I even had a hard time kind of understanding what this was. So I hope that made it easier for you to understand. But I guess I can understand her problem here, because if you really have a problem, you shouldn't be streaming or showing yourself or putting yourself up on the internet, meeting a shit ton of new people, letting people do whatever they're going to do. You really should take a little bit of time for yourself, and it's probably good that she's doing that now, but she probably should have done that before something bad happened with Carson, Fitz, and her boyfriend. Like, I think it's good now, but it should have happened a lot earlier.
I ignored very conflicting feelings and thoughts, and I was very lost and confused. And I didn't know what I wanted or what was important to me. And this was when I got involved with Fitz.
So here's the thing. I think that Fitz is just doing what Fitz is doing. I think that he's just being a dude, because I guess he really shouldn't have done that. But like Kat said, she's not actually dating Carson. And I mean, I don't know if Fitz would have known that she had a boyfriend or not. So I think Fitz was just doing what Fitz does. I heard that he was married somewhere, but that's just what I've heard, and I really don't even think that's true. So Fitz can just be doing whatever he's doing. I guess he shouldn't have done that, but I mean, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me that Fitz decided to hop in and, just be a dude.
And I handled it very similarly to how I handled previous things. I depersonalized a lot and was very lost and confused and didn't know what I wanted, and made a lot of bad decisions because of that. And I hurt both him and Carson and their friendship as well. And Carson and I streamed together, and his community very much saw us as a couple, which we encouraged, and it felt really good to have such a positive impact on so many people.
I can see why this would scare her, because having that big of an impact on people and young people, but really just people in general, and you brightening up so many people's days, like, she has a lot of fans, and just, saying that she was Carson's girlfriend would make all of their days better, and she would get so much support for it. And I can understand. You got to give in sometimes, or you don't have to, but sometimes it just happens and you can't really control it, because then, like she said, she's depersonalized and she's just going with what's happening, right? I can see that, but you really should have realized what was happening. You might not have had control of it 100% of the time, but I can bet that you at least thought about it once and then you just went right back to doing it. So you really should have stopped while you were early on and not have let this whole entire thing escalate.
And I'm sorry to all those people that I let down and disappointed. There are so many things I could have done better. And I was lost and confused, and I ended up hurting people that I cared about. And in the future, I want to be better, and I want to focus on myself, which is why I'm taking further time off streaming. And I'm working through my depersonalization. I'm still seeing my therapist, and I want to live my life more openly and honestly. And more than anything, I want to be honest with myself, which is something that I've struggled with a lot.
Okay, so like I said, she's taking time off, all that good stuff. She's going to go and find herself or whatever, but she's still got the impending doom upon her of having to face Carson and Fitz again, because she's going to have to come to amends with them. And I just hope that she's able to do that right.
And I'm sorry to everyone. I'm sorry to my community and anyone that I've disappointed or let down. I'm sorry to Carson's community. I'm sorry to Fitz's community and anyone else's community who was affected by this. Anyone who had to deal with this drama in their chat. I'm sorry to Tempo. I'm sorry to Fitz for hurting his image and his friendship with Carson. I'm sorry to my ex-boyfriend for handling our relationship so poorly. He's very much a victim in this, and Carson, who was also a victim in this and deserved a lot better. I don't expect anyone to forgive me, but I hope that this, at least, can provide some understanding.
So everything was going fine until she decided to go with the classic approach of moving your mouse to end off the video recording. Like, come on, you could have done so much better. Just make it like an actual apology and not like the rest of the apologies that are up on YouTube, like James Charles or literally fucking anyone. I can't think of anyone right now, but there's plenty more, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it seems like a heartfelt apology, but still, words are just words. You gotta show it in actions, right? So I really hope she's able to rejuvenate herself. This situation's fucking retarded, honestly. Like, this shouldn't have even been sprung into action. This shouldn't have happened, but yeah, it still happened because of some dumb decisions that she made. I don't think that it was Carson's fault. Maybe a little bit of Fitz, but I mean, hey, a dude's gonna do what a dude's gonna do. That's all I'm gonna say about Fitz. But I mean, she could have done so much better in just everything regarding this, and I honest to God hope that she's able to fix things with Carson and Fitz, because they seem like great people and they shouldn't be treated like that. But with all that being said, thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope I was able to provide some clearance to you and all the rest of the people watching. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have had an amazing day, evening, night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll say hello to you guys in the next video. Peace out.